Holy crap. Look who finally has a freaking YouTube channel! And of course, my first video up had to be on my colored brows because, duh. So I'm going to show you guys how I do this bomb ombre brow that I've been into lately. So I'm going to be using Jeffree Star Cosmetics Royalty and Diamond Liquid Lipsticks to fill in my brows with my MAC 263 brush, which is my favorite brow brush and the only one that I ever use. When starting my brow, I like to go in with very little product, so I take a little bit of the liquid lipstick in the back of my hand and then swipe away the excess on my brush like so to avoid any harsh lines. So I always like to start my brows by outlining the bottom first, but specifically for this type of ombre brow, I would highly recommend starting from the bottom and working your way up. That way it's easier to blend your colors together. So again, I'm just going to quickly outline the bottom first so it can be my guide for the rest of the brow. Once I have my outline done, I'll go in with more product little by little and start filling in the rest of my brow in an upward motion. If you see those blotchy spots on my brows right now, don't worry about it. I fix it later on. I grow hair very uneven on my eyebrows. I feel like I have bald spots on them. I don't even know if that's possible, but I just don't grow hair in some parts of my brows, and that's why they look like that as I'm filling them in. But again, don't worry. I fix it and it gets better later on. Also, just very quickly, ignore what looks like an eye booger. I promise you it's not. It's just my eye watering. I wipe it off eventually later on in the video. So once a little bit more than half of my brow is filled in, I'm gonna go in with a little bit more product and make these upward motions into the brow. That way the top of where that color ends isn't so harsh and it's a little bit more blended out. That way when I go in with the second color, it's a little bit easier to blend. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah. Also the front part of the brow, I go in with whatever is left on my brush so that the front of the brow is also not as harsh and it looks a little bit more ombre-ish. Now taking the second color, I'm gonna again take very little product on my brush and I'm gonna place this color a little bit under where the first color ended and I'm gonna blend it upwards into the top part of my brow. And I'm starting this color in again like towards the middle of my brow. That way both colors can blend in a little bit better and it can create like somewhat of a third shade right in the middle of the brow. Once I blend in a little bit more, you'll kind of see like a third type of shade in there. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it still looks pretty cool. So now I'm just working on the outer part of my brow, and again, I don't grow hair here, so I have to go in quite a few times with the color, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But again, I do go in with very little product, little by little. These liquid lipsticks don't dry quick, so they give me enough work time to be able to blend these colors good enough together. Of course, you don't have to use these. You can use any other liquid lipsticks, but I just prefer using these because again, they don't dry down so quick. So I'm going to go in with the first color one more time, picking up very little product on the brush and placing it in between the two colors just to blend in the colors a little bit more. Blend, 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 sis. It's all about the blend. And I'm also going to fill in the rest of my little blotchy spots right there just for a little bit more color. To clean up the brows, I'm going to take my absolute favorite and now discontinued MAC Select Cover Up in NC30 with my Nars #7 brush and the buffer brush from the Pretty Bar. Now, the reason why I take 500 years to do my brows is because I'm OCD, like there's no tomorrow with them. They have to be super clean and crisp, otherwise I'm not happy. So take your time with this. This is crucial in order for your brows to look super clean. Of course, you don't have to be as OCD as me, but you know what? YOLO, okay? Don't judge me. And 500 years later, I just blend out the concealer. On the front part of the brow, I like swiping the brush in an upwards motion just so that I can not have such a boxed or squared brow in the front. I don't know if you can really tell here in the video, but that's just something that I like to do. Now here, once again, my OCD kicks in and I just take a little bit more product to fill in any spots that might be still missing color or that I might have gone over too much with the concealer. And now we're just going to clean up the top part of the brow with my foundation. I do not like cleaning the top part of my brow with concealer because I always feel like concealer leaves a white cast on the top of your brows, and I'm just not a fan of that. Of course, if you do it that way, it's totally fine. Everyone has their own preferences, but I just prefer using my own foundation. I feel like it blends in nicer with the rest of your foundation when you apply it later on. And here my OCD makes another quick comeback, and I'm just gonna take that top color again and go over the top part of the brow one more time just to go over any spots that I might have gone over with too much with the concealer. And I'm just making it more perfect because I'm not happy unless my brow is perfect. Lastly, I just prime my lids with the MAC Select Cover Up Concealer, and I'll set that with a little bit of the RCMA Translucent Powder, and this is basically my eyeshadow base, and that is practically it. This is the whole struggle to my purple ombre brow. I hope you guys liked it. Don't judge my first video. I'm still very excited, so let me know any suggestions, anything you guys want to see. And finally, I get to say it. Don't forget to subscribe.